Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hello everyone. I want to welcome all the people of the Gita Collective. If you're getting this video, then you are a member of the collective. And today we start with our first day of reading of the Bhagavad-gītā. We're going to be reading from chapter 1, text 1 through text 19. And these verses, today I'll just share a little bit, maybe a little bit more than I would on an average little video like this, but the setting of this is so important. Arjuna, 13 years ago, along with his brothers, the Pāṇḍavas, took vows that their evil cousins, Duryodhana and all of his brothers, had committed so many wrongs, had tried to kill them in so many different ways, and done so many horrible activities, but now they had taken over the government. They had sent him and his brothers in exile after mistreating, frankly, in a most horrible way, the wife of the Pāṇḍavas, Draupadi. And they vowed to her, and they vowed publicly, that although they're being exiled for 13 years, that 13 years later they would come back and they would fight, regain the kingdom, regain the government, and deal with these evil men in a way that they were obliged to do as the warriors, as the protectors of society. And so here we are 13 years later. Arjuna has been waiting for this moment. He's been waiting for this moment to fulfill his vows, to fulfill his promise to his wife, and he's on the battlefield. Now, the Bhagavad-gītā begins and ends with a conversation not between Krishna and Arjuna, which is practically the entire Bhagavad-gītā, but it opens up, we're hearing a question from the blind king Dhritarashtra, the father of Duryodhana, the father of the cousins of the Pāṇḍavas, the uncle of the Pāṇḍavas. He knows deep down inside that Arjuna and Yudhishthira and the other Pāṇḍavas are the rightly kings. He knows that he should have treated them better, that he should have loved them like he loved his own sons when their father, his own brother, had died. And he's feeling anxiety. In one sense, when we read these verses, they're not getting into philosophy. The real philosophy is going to begin a couple days down the road when we get into the second chapter. But anxiety. Yeah, this is really a theme that will be very clear, will come out strong in the first chapter of the Bhagavad-gītā. The first verse is the blind king Dhritarashtra asking, what's going on the battlefield? And he's speaking to Sañjaya. Sañjaya is his counselor, and Sañjaya also has the mystic ability to see what was going on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, even though he was sitting far away with the king in his palace. But his question it begins with the word dharma, dharmikshetra, kurukshetra. All of my sons and their cousins and so many armies have gathered at Kurukshetra, which is a dharmikshetra, which is a place of dharma. And he's worried that because his sons were less dharmic than the Pāṇḍavas, that this might have a negative consequence. He's feeling anxiety. Then it shifts to, we hear Sañjaya describing what's taking place on the battlefield. There, the evil cousin of the Pāṇḍavas, Duryodhana, is politicking. He's speaking in very diplomatic ways to try to make sure that everybody's ego is not offended. He's glorifying certain warriors. He's trying to convince the warriors on his side that they have a more powerful army and that they will be successful. And then we hear about the blowing of the Conchshells, which is something done before the battle to really just to kind of get everybody going, to psych everybody up. And Duryodhana and his cousins and their armies blow their Conchshells. It's very loud and tumultuous. But then the other side, with Arjuna, with Arjuna's brothers, and with Krishna himself, who's driving the chariot of Arjuna, they blow their Conchshells. And it's said that when they blow their Conchshells, it shatters the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra, right? They're feeling anxiety. And so the question here is, why so much anxiety? Why is the blind king feeling anxiety? Why is Dhritarashtra feeling anxiety? And for tomorrow's reading, we're going to see that even Arjuna is feeling anxiety. And so the Bhagavad-gītā is going to begin with, not so much with philosophy, but it's going to begin setting up this idea that when we try to live a life in forgetfulness of our connection with that source of our very existence, we feel anxiety. Duryodhana is feeling it. Dhritarashtra is going to feel it. And we'll read tomorrow how Arjuna is feeling it. So let's get started there. Please do your reading. It'll just take, again, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, I think, max. And I look forward to working our way through the Bhagavad-gītā. We're going to read the entire thing in 1 month, in September. Thank you so much, and we'll check in with you tomorrow.